Drill, baby, drill. Drill, baby, drill. You have a good bill, H.R. 1, which the House has passed. The Senate never passed it. That's too bad. Just as a point, my pal Faulkner here in the front row, when Trump goes through this, he should do better on the explaining. So if you do the permitting reform,
yes,
okay, or redo, because we had one federal decision, that was an NEC account also. But. Energy costs permeate the entire economy. That word permeate, which is a Faulkner word, said on a terrific TV show I know of. But in all seriousness, that's what could actually bring prices down.
Yes.
So if you permit more and you produce more, say you go from 13 million barrels a day, where that was the peak 4 years ago. They're back to 13 million, big deal. They should be at 16 million barrels a day or some such thing. If you do that and the price drops back to, let's say, $40, $45, I have a list, I'm not going to bore you with it, but there's 200 or 300 items of ordinary consumer goods, healthcare goods, all kinds of things whose price would fall as the price of petroleum and related, like petrochemicals. All that stuff would fall. There you go.
Yes.
Right.
We should permeate every area of the economy.
Yes.
With our energy supply. Look, it is maddening public policy to turn off the spigots, and that's what we've done. I confronted President Biden myself personally about his executive order to pause LNG exports, for example, and this has been reported, so I'll just tell you, it's already public. But I confronted him. I said, why would you do that? You're fueling Vladimir Putin's war machine because our European allies have to get their natural gas and energy needs from Russia instead of us. They desperately want it. I've spoken to them. Why would you do it? He said, I didn't do that. I said, yes, you did. And this is just a few weeks after the executive order, and he tried to argue with me that it didn't happen. And he said, oh, you misunderstand. That's just all I signed was an order to conduct a study on the effects of LNG. I said, no, sir. I'm from Louisiana. The export terminals are in my state. That's not true. I'm not sure he actually knew what he was doing there, Larry, which is back to the question earlier, who's running the country. It's pretty frightening. But it's had untold disastrous economic and national security effects and implications. And yes, it permeates it. And energy policy is at the center of our economic strength. And we've got to turn it back on. And energy dominance is the buzzword.
Did you ever ask him why he relaxed the oil production sanctions and shipping on Iran, which has gone from foreign exchange, I don't know, less than $1 billion worth of foreign exchange to $70, $80 billion. It's all oil money. It's all oil production money sold to China. Or did you ever ask him if he's thought about China right now? China, which is buying the oil from Iran, okay, most of it, half of it, more than half of it, and buying oil from Russia. China is basically financing 2 wars against the United States through its oil purchases, all right, which were supposed to be sanctioned. Now, I know somebody that would slap a whole lot more tariffs on China if they ever pulled that kind of trick. But basically, did you ever ask him about, does he have any sense of what China is doing, even though it never sees the light of day? Whenever they have these, they're sending another group over there now. I don't know what they do. I was in a trade group. We won several times. Lighthizer and Mnuchin were running it. We actually got a deal. I don't know whether they enforced it or not. But the point is, does he know? Does he understand that? China is financing 2 wars with oil money against the United States.
I wish we could get those answers, and I wish they would come to the table and have thoughtful discussions with us, but that doesn't happen. It hasn't happened for 4 years because they're pursuing this agenda, and it's terrible for the country. And so look, we have to defeat them at the ballot box. We have to win back the levers of power because it's too dangerous. As I mentioned, these 2 completely different visions, we will lose the country if we don't get this back in our hands, and we're going to be very responsible for it. But this one's for all the marbles, and everybody knows it.